Hello ladies, I am Lori. I'm an artist with Seint Beauty. This video is going to be showing you this amazing life-changing makeup, especially if you're 40 plus. It is cream foundation. It comes in these palettes. So it's a one palette system, which first of all is amazing. And it comes in these refillable tins like this. So you pop the tin out, you put it in your compact, and we customize it to your skin tone, and then you can pick out your lip and cheek colors and that type of thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this one in. This is a lip and cheek color called Royal. I'm gonna be using that today. There you go. So the concept is that you are going to be using 3 colors as your foundation that all have coverage so that you're not layering too much makeup on your skin. So it's gonna look way more natural, and it's gonna mimic the way light already hits your face. So if you take a look at me here, you'll see there's areas of brightness down the center. There's some shadowing here where we have, higher points of our face. So instead of putting one color all over and then throwing in a little cheek color, this is going to just mimic the way light hits our face. Like I said, so you're going to look way more natural, and you can also use the contour to sculpt and define your features. So it's really easy too, and it's really fast. So I'm going to be showing you how to use this, and I'm going to be giving you some tips along the way. So one thing to keep in mind, it's very versatile. You can do all kinds of things just within your one palette. I'm going to show you how to do it in one layer, but you do have the option to put your main color all over more area. If you like more coverage, it's going to look fine. Okay, so I'm going to use contour. This is my main highlight. This is actually a color correcting highlight that is good for my skin tone that I'm going to use in certain areas. This is my brightening highlight, which we want that to be a couple of shades lighter than our main highlight. And then I've got 2 lip and cheeks here. And on the flip side, I have a bronzer, an illuminator. This is Bella Bronzer. We have one called Tan Lines for more fair skin. I'm pretty medium to tan skin tone. And here are the eyeshadows that I actually have on my eyes today. And that's a little brush cleaning tile for the eyeshadows. So you can buy a bigger palette and leave room to grow. There's just so many options. Okay, and I can help you with all of that. I'm gonna be using a couple of different brushes. And when I color match you, I will recommend brushes, and then you can choose what works best for your budget to get started. So I'm going to grab this brush first, which is called the detail brush, okay? So I'm going to contour first. Now, I do actually have some sunspots here that are, to me, more distracting. So before I actually contour, I'm just going to take my finger and dip it in that mango and just tap it on these main ones that distract me the most. The others are fine, and the makeup covers them enough. So I just want to show you that so you can see how you do that if you want to color correct. And I usually suggest doing that first, okay? So now I'm going to take the same color and just press very lightly on the area where I have that bag, because there's like a shadow in there, like a purpley color. So that just reduces it, okay? So we're going to be thinking about our under eyes as we do the makeup. We're not going to want to put much makeup there, because as things start to change there, and they do, we usually make the mistake of putting too light of a color and putting too much to try to cover things, and that just gives us the opposite effect. It's just going to look too heavy there. It's going to bring people's attention there. So I'm just going to take this. Not everyone needs to color correct. I do, so I just put it there, and then we go about it, okay? Now, if you had larger areas to color correct at this point, if you want, you could take your brush and just do that. Like if you had some redness here, I have some on my nose, but my makeup will cover it today. You just tap, 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 and press on those areas, and then go about your regular makeup application, okay? So I'm gonna contour through my forehead first. You just lightly tap, because it's easier to start with a little and build than it is to try to blend too much. Okay, I usually go really light on the contour and build because it's just easier, as I said. So this is called Indigo Contour. It's one of our darker contours. So you're gonna do like a half moon. And then of course, we'll blend it up here. I'll go ahead and blend it a little bit now, but we go back and do some blending later. And I just leave that so you can be getting the roadmap in your mind as I do this. So then I take the edge of the brush and just tap it very lightly in there. You're going to start back here. Feel for your cheekbone if you need to, but you're basically going to just hug that cheekbone, okay? So you just It's easy to just tap it on like this, kind of go back and forth and just get it on there, and super duper easy. Then you go to the other side, do the same thing, but you do not have to worry. Just try to get it about the same, but you don't have to worry about it. It's not an exact science. It's almost impossible to mess this up, okay? So I've got that there. Now I'm going to contour my jawline. So you do this for depth and dimension. It's gonna just sculpt it out a little bit and help hide some of the sagging that we get as we age. I just do it to right here. I stop where it starts to sag there. Some people go all the way across. You can find your sweet spot when you practice. Okay, and then if you want, you could even bring a little bit down here, and it helps to camouflage that sagging that we get, okay? All right, so then if you want to contour your nose, I'll show you how to do that. I like to just tap my fingers, like I'll tap one finger in it very lightly, rub them together, and then touch the fingers together, because you want it just on the bridge of your nose. You don't want it down the sides, and just do that. And then I come back up here and do this, and then we'll perfect it with the brush, okay? All right, so you just want a little bit. You can go here, you can do the end of your nose. That's supposed to shorten the look of your nose. There's all kinds of things you can do. Also, even put some under your lip, and it'll give you more of a pout. You might have to go back at the end and add a little more. Okay, so I have the contour in all the places I'm going to use it. And keep in mind, you can use the makeup as eyeshadow as well. Today I just have on some of our gorgeous powder eyeshadows, but it looks really pretty as an eyeshadow too. I do that a lot. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is brighten, because when you do it this way, it makes it so easy just to go back and fill everything in with your main color. So I'm just going to keep using this brush, and I'm going to dip into this Sunlit, my brightener, and just a little bit here. You only need a little. So out like this a little. I just do it like a triangle, but I fan it out a little like that. See what a small amount I put there? I always do use my finger for going down my nose, because I just have way better control that way. Okay, so just a little bit down the center like that. And then I'm gonna put some here. You just wanna take it right down the center like this. So I'm just gonna flip to this brush. This is called the smudge brush. And I'm gonna go in the inner corner here just a little bit. You wanna get it all the way up in that divot, because it's really gonna open your eye up. There's a shadow there. And then I do little dots like this, because if I do like that, it's gonna drag the skin and it's gonna miss a part of it. So just a little bit like that, and it's gonna lift you up, okay? So then we're gonna do this side. I'm gonna actually show you two different ways to do your bronzer, okay? So one way, I'm gonna do this side like this, where I just take a little bit and put it right over that contour with my finger like that. And then just put a couple little dots like this, right? Because you want to bronze for warmth, like a sun-kissed glow, okay? So you just want to put it on the higher points of your cheeks. All right, and this is just one way you can do it. And then the other way is you can go in with your brush after you blend and just really lightly brush it on, okay? So I'm actually gonna put a dot of it here and a dot of it there. Next, I'm gonna go in with the main color. So we're going to just take this smaller end and dip a little bit in and just gonna press it on around the contour and the brightening highlight. And of course, it does not matter if you overlap. And sometimes I dip it in my color correcting too, just around here where I have the most dark spots. So it's super easy. If I recommended two main colors for you, try one, try the other, and then try just mixing them. And all you do is tap, tap, tap. It is so easy. Okay, so we're just getting that on, just tapping it around. And I'm just going to go up here just a little bit in the center of my forehead. And it's just going to all blend together really pretty. And then I always just make sure I get it around my nose really well, because I get redness on my nose, and this usually takes care of it doing it this way. So now I'm just gonna start blending. So I'm tapping and stippling, and you just wanna press it, no swiping. Okay, see how I'm just pressing it in, and it just blends so pretty. And this is the side that we have the bronzer and the contour. So you can very gently just kind of, after you press it, just kind of swirl it a little bit to mesh them together. And go under here and just tap that. And it's very quick, it doesn't take that long. So we're just gonna diffuse this out some, but we're gonna blend some more later, okay? Like with our perfector sponge. So right now I'm just mainly getting it all together so I can take a look. Really gently around the nose. Sometimes I even use my finger just to get it blended just a tiny bit. Okay, now I'm gonna flip up here, and I do swirl a little bit just really gently on my forehead. It's just different texture skin. See, that's all I needed was just a little bit. I'm gonna tap this. Okay, I am gonna switch to a different brush for my eyes again. I am gonna switch to this brush again for my eyes so I can show you really well. So you just blend that in here, and then just bring it down a little bit because there's a shadow from your nose and it'll just kind of brighten and open up the area. And then I usually flip over here and just tap that, feather it here a little bit, and then just tap the rest across. You do the same thing whether you have the color corrector there or not. I still always go back and just tap it across to make sure everything's blended out nice. See how it just cleans up my eyeshadow? But you want just a small amount here. And if you color correct and brighten in these areas, it's really gonna look nice. It's not gonna be too heavy. I can help you with what colors to use if you have darker circles. There we go. Just all the way up to that lash line as close as you can get. And there we go. Now I'm just gonna go do this side with the blush and bronzer brush to show you how to do that. So you just tap it in so lightly because it's really pigmented and you don't need much at all. And you just very lightly just swirl it like that. You do it so lightly that it's not interfering with what you've already done. And then you can keep building if you want. This is about all I do, but I love bronzer. I just love bronzer so much. I always have my bronzer. Just that sun-kissed glow just gives you a little more warmth. So now I'm gonna go in with the lip and cheek. I'll just put some on my lips first. So you can see the color. These all double as lip and cheek colors. And then I usually just take my brush and just tap it. Blend it in. I usually go back and get a little more until I get it how I like it. And I usually do start here and just kind of build upward. And you can put a little on the apple of your cheek, whichever you prefer. Isn't that so pretty? So this makeup, guys, is so good for mature skin because it's cream, it just really moves with your skin and it allows your skin to breathe. And it just gives you this youthful luminosity. It takes off years and it doesn't start to crack or settle into your fine lines and wrinkles. It's just the beautiful and perfect makeup for 40+ skin. When I tried it, I was just blown away and I knew I had to share it with other people. Now I'm gonna take the perfector sponge. So I wet it and then just squeeze it out really well so it's barely damp. And this is going to give you a more flawless look, just more seamless and flawless. Always get under my eyes really well. And at any point, if you want to go back in and add a little something or blend something a little more, like this would be the time. It's super easy to go add a little bit more contour or lip and cheek color, bronzer, whatever you want to do, okay? So isn't that so gorgeous? Look at that. The next thing I'm going to do is take some illuminator. This is called Angel. It's also a cream illuminator. And look at that. Isn't that so pretty? Put it on the high points of your cheek. I always put it on the tip of my nose and about like on the little bit of the bridge of my nose. You can just do whatever you prefer, but it's just so fun and so pretty. And you can put some on your Cupid's bow. I don't have one, so I skip it. I see a lot of people do that. It looks really pretty. I've tried, it didn't work for me. A little bit under the brow bone there. See how that kind of opens up your eye? At this point, if you want to use setting spray or setting powder, you want to do that. All right, so I like to take a setting spray. Seint has one. You can use any setting spray that you like. I've heard that Urban Decay De-Slick, it works really well with oily skin. I have dry skin, but I still use it sometimes. Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray by Charlotte Tilbury. So what I like to do is put it on the Perfector sponge and just kind of bounce it off. Just gonna give you that all day staying power. You can just spray it directly on if you'd like. And then if you'd like to use a powder, you can use loose translucent setting powder. The finer milled, the better. So I don't use a powder because I have dry skin, but a lot of people do, and you can put it just in the oily areas, or you can put it all over. If you want a more matte look, you can put it all over. So there's so many options just depending on what you prefer. And then for some people, they just have to do a little trial and error to find their sweet spot. I do like to take this IT Cosmetics, it's called Bye Bye Pores, but I like to take it and put it underneath my eyes, and I'll show you why, okay? So I take the tiniest amount and then tap it off. A really fluffy small brush like this is perfect. And then I just tap it all under very, very lightly, like this, okay? So see how that just takes that shine out? I love the glow of this makeup and the luminosity of it, the dewy look, because I have more dull skin, especially as I've gotten older. Even with great skincare, my skin tends to look dull. So I love the dewy look, but look at that. See how it just takes that shine out, which in my opinion detracts attention from that area, which is what I would like. So you'll be able to move all day, you know, talk and laugh, and it will not settle into those fine lines and wrinkles, and you're just gonna look gorgeous all day long, and you're gonna get compliments. And that's it. See how easy that is, guys? If I can do this, trust me, you can do this. So this makeup is such a game changer. It is just fast and easy and simple, but mostly it is beautiful. And like I said, it's very versatile. There are days I don't do this whole thing. I just put on some bronzer, lip and cheek color. I always do my concealer around my eyes, and I'm here to help you. So if you order makeup from me and you get your palette and you try it out and you have questions, at any point, I'm always here to help you, and it is going to make you feel so pretty. To this day, almost 3 years since I started using it, I'll be washing my hands and I'll look up in the mirror and go, wow, I forgot how pretty this is, you know, or just, wow, that is so pretty. So there is a color match form. You can comment below and I'll send it to you. It is on my page, so you can find it there as well. So I would love to get you color matched and get you started on this makeup. It is a total game changer.